So the Fiat 500 is one of the most affordable electric cars out there, but it does have one luxury that other EVs don't, and that is choice. Perhaps a little bit too much choice, but don't worry, because in this new series, the one that you want, we are here to help and decide what is the best option for you. So what do I mean by too much choice? Well, there are different battery sizes, trim levels, and uniquely a cabrio version. Now, our chums across the channel also get a clever 3+1 variant, which has an extra door on the passenger side. Now, we don't get that though, because it would mean your kids would climb out into traffic in the UK, which is not a good idea. Okay, well, let's start off with the most affordable of the bunch, and it is this one. It's called the 500 Action, not the lights and camera variety, but the Fiat one. Anyway, this is a small car, and consequently it has a small battery, and that means it has a list price of £23,495, which means this is officially the cheapest electric car you can buy right now, if you exclude the fact that you might be able to buy a Fiat Me or a VW Up for less. But forget that, you don't want one of those, you want one of these. So technically this is the cheapest electric car on the market. Oh, and unless you don't include the Citroën Ami as well. But that's not a car, is it? That's more like a four-wheeled mammal or something like that. Actually, and rather awkwardly, since it's the car that Fiat sent us, you can't actually order the Action at the moment either, but we are promised that it will make a return once somebody finds some more semiconductors at the factory somewhere. Anyway, if you could buy this car, you'd find it has a 24 kilowatt-hour battery, which is less than half the size of a pack-in of Vauxhall Corsa E and a third of the capacity of something like the Kia EV6. That gives it an official 115-mile range, but that will be double digits in the real world, and you'll feel like you need to charge every time you stop. Unless you're in a town, of course, and just pootling about, in which case you might be fine, but it is going to limit its appeal. Now, I do most of my driving in town, but it would be nice to have the option to go further afield occasionally, or not have to charge it every night. Now, once I've added in all of those options, the Action actually comes out pretty close in price to a better equipped model with a bigger battery. So let's take a look at those options. Next up in the range, there are two models which are the same price, £29,435, and share a 42 kilowatt-hour battery, which gives a much more sensible 199-mile official range. The two models are quite different in feel though. First, there's the Brackets Red, which you can actually have in different colours, but it will always have red bits somewhere, including, should you want it, on the driver's seat. Yep, just the driver's seat. The rest of the interior will be black, so it looks like you bought it from a scrapyard after having a little biological accident. Anyway, Red is in fact a charity set up by U2 singer Bono to help fight against any health crises around the world, including the pandemic. And actually Fiat make a donation for every red car that is sold, which is very nice of them. And if it is a beautiful day, then you can actually buy the Cabrio, but it is going to set you back an extra £2,650. Both the hardtop and Cabrio also have what is called a Fiat Red Kit, which kind of fits in with the anti-pandemic theme, as it has a cabin air filter, antibacterial treatment on the interior surfaces, a hand sanitizer dispenser, yes, really. It also has smaller 16-inch wheels, which mean a lovely, comfortable ride and cheaper tyres, at the expense of some steering feel and the bling looks. If red isn't your bag and you can live with the guilt of not donating to Bono, then there is the Icon model, which is exactly the same price. But instead of the coloured bits and the hand sanitizer, you get keyless entry, so you don't have to take the key out of your pocket or handbag at any time. Stump up £31,435, that's £2,000 more than the other pair, and you can have a car with one of the longest names in history. It's called the new 500 La Prima by Bocelli, which will add about half an hour to every conversation when you're trying to get insurance quotes. Anyway, this lets people know you have spent extra cash with its pretty 17-inch alloys. If they look closer, they might also spot what are called premium interiors, an LED infinity light and JBL-branded premium audio system, which has been set up by a tenor called Andrea Bocelli. No, not that sort of tenor. So that is a lot of choice, and what you like is probably going to be different to what I like. I think personally for me, I do like all the funky bits of the red. However, I would give that up for keyless entry because that is just a win for me every time. And then I'd probably have to put a little bit of money in the charity pot to relieve my guilt. The new 500 La Prima by Bocelli looks lovely, but I'm not sure I could justify the extra cost. I might be tempted to spend the money on the Cabrio though, especially if the sun comes out. Well, hopefully that's everything you need to know about making the choice when buying a Fiat 500. But if you're still not sure, fear not. Head over to electrifying.com because we've got even more advice on the site. Do let us know in the comments below if you agree with my decision, or perhaps you have your own 500 and you've got a different one. Tell us why you made that choice. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe to our channel. We really do appreciate your support.